It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from a company called Double Barreled. Now, I've never had any of their beer. I picked it up in Waitrose. I was going to a antique, I'm a browser when it comes to shopping. I browse and I go, oh, I might buy that next week, and then I never go back. I'm one of those shoppers, you know, just a browser. But anyway, I went to an antique place. I'll tell you what I was looking at in a moment, but on the way to the antique place was Waitrose, about 9 miles away. So I popped into Waitrose to see if they had any new beers, and this was here, Double Barreled Brewery. Where are they based? They're based in Reading, Berkshire. And while we're here, they specialise in balanced and brilliant beers. But I really like this 440 milliliter can. It's called Kitchen Disco Hazy IPA. Now, isn't that a sign of the times? Kitchens have become an integral part of British life, haven't they? I mean, just Saturday night, my brother-in-law, let's get the beer out first and we'll talk about this in a moment. Tropical, peachy and bold, it's described as. So we've got a 1 finger white head, good levels of carbonation, hazy straw coloured beer, 5.8% ABV, Waitrose, I'm guessing, top of my head, £3.50, £4 a can. That's my kind of, where I think this beer sits. It might be £3 if you're lucky. But I have a receipt. Where is my Waitrose receipt? Look at that. I'll just show you the top part. Never leave things lying around. If you've got a big family, something will get, like, that was left in the kitchen and grease has got on the blooming receipt and I can't see the prices. So it was about, I think I paid about between £3 and £3.50, maybe £4 at a push for this can of beer. But it looks good. Nice carbonation, nice head retention on the beer. Hazy straw coloured beer. Let's get the aroma. Ooh, smells interesting, really interesting. Peachy, passion fruit, mango, but in a really decent sense, in a really kind of natural, tropical sense, like lots of hops sense. Oh, that smells really good. That smells something like Magic Rock might have created 7 years ago. Something that Beavertown might have created 7 years ago. Smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, super soft, super drinkable, super refreshing. Lovely mouthfeel. Lovely mouthfeel on this beer. Creamy and rich. That is decent stuff. Normally, maybe it was just the fact that I was having my gills filled with Hazy IPA in 2023. I've spent most of 2024 completely avoiding this style of beer, as my regular followers will know. I got completely sick of this style of beer in 2022, 2023. I was like, well, why is everybody creating this stuff? Like, why? But in hindsight, I was just hopped out. Burnt out, kind of like, ugh, I need to drink some decent German lager, some decent Czech lager. And that was the road I went down. But when you return every now and again, now I don't return to it much, but when you do return to it, you can understand why lots of people buy it and lots of people drink it. And you can probably understand why lots of people have beef with me for slating it as much as I have done over the last 2 years. And it's only when you walk away from something for long enough that you realise that actually people are probably just wondering what you're on about. What is this guy banging on about? Why does he hate Hazy IPA as much as he do? It was just a case of I was reviewing it. I was drinking it. And the more you drink something, the more you kind of like, it felt like a punishment. It felt like a chore. It felt like I was working for Amazon, just passing parcels through. It didn't feel, there was no enjoyment. At the end, when probably about a year or so ago, when I was reviewing these Hazy IPAs, it was such a chore. But in hindsight, I've given myself a massive break from this stuff, and I can totally understand why people buy it. It's soft, it's drinkable, it's refreshing, it's nicely carbonated, it's full of lovely tropical flavours, passion fruit, mango, peach, orange peel. And we haven't even got to it's a little bit sweet. There's next to no bitterness on the back end. Super juicy beer. Let's get to the disco part of this beer, the kitchen disco. Now, when I was growing up, all of us youngsters, we could still afford to go out and drink. We could still afford to go. We used to go to a place called Merry Friars, and it used to be like a dungeon disco thing that used to open till about 3 o'clock in the morning. And you could drink whatever you wanted there till whatever time of the day you wanted, and everything was like acceptable and not very expensive. But these days, everything costs a bomb. If me and my wife go out for a Saturday afternoon casual drink, it's like £6 or £7 a pint. And it's like, before you know it, by the time you've had a bit of food, you spent 100 quid. 100 quid's gone in a flash. Like, for me, 100 quid is like, for flipping heck, 100 quid. But perhaps I'm just old. But 100 quid used to be a lot of money, like. It used to be a lot of money. And this is where the disco kitchen thing comes back in. Kitchen disco. Like on Saturday night, I grabbed a bag full of cans. I went at my brother-in-law's house where he's built this double-storey kitchen extension thing. And we're kind of doing this sort of thing. You know, there's some lights flashing. He got his LEDs going. He's got his music going. And I'm drinking bottles of Erdinger Oktoberfest. 8 bottles, and suffered greatly the next day. But it's where we are. It's where we are now. It's where it's almost like we're pinned in. We're pinned in. That's what you're to do now. You're stuck in your kitchen having a disco, drinking beer, and hey ho, that's life, I suppose, isn't it? Something's got to give, as far as I'm concerned. I think people's mental stability will not be able to withstand this like constant being stuck in your house. I think long term people will suffer big time. I don't like it. I work from home. I don't really like being around the house overly, so I'll walk for 2 hours a day. I'll go and play snooker. I'm almost like looking for ways to escape my house now. Whereas when I first started work, it was trying to find ways to stay at home. Yeah, and it's flipped with me. I've gone in the opposite direction. I'll go out for hours playing snooker. I'll go out for hours walking. Anyway, based in Reading, double barreled kitchen disco hazy IPA, 5.8% ABV. It's decent, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.